So if you look at this, just select statement key is sufficient, but we can have where conditions also, that is optional. Also ordered by is also optional. So we both are optional. So let us take an example and understand one by one so that you can have a better understanding of this. So today we'll discuss about the various variations of the select statement, where we'll be talking about single row functions. Let us see that. So let me go back and let me open the lab set just for better understanding. So if you want to understand this, first I should have the DDL statement. So let me create DDL statement here. This is straightforward. I believe that people know that how to create this one. So let me create a database. I think database is not there. So let me create database, what is called UPL underscore DB. So I'll be creating this. Just let me create. Once this is done, I may be inserting, so creating the table around this. So let me refresh this. So here UPL underscore DB, let me use this. Okay. So we have done this. Now I want to execute this. So now I have created the table. So we are able to see show the table here. So we the table. So once this is done, now if I want to create some sample data, I can go and insert some sample data here for this table. So I have created some records, 8 records. See, I think in DML we have learned this insert record. So that means we have understood this is DDL and this is DML. So in that we have looked into the what is insert code. Now the question is here, already we know that how select works. Select works is, so column 1, column 2, okay, from which table, table name, and then where condition. So this is the option, right? So this is where conditions we are having it. Now, if you want to understand this, so let us do one example. So let me retrieve the employees whose salary is greater than 5,000. So if I want to first, let us see that, as we said, where condition is optional. So that means directly I can execute the employees. So we are able to see that. Also, we can execute employee ID, whichever the column you want. First name, similarly job title, salary. So if you are specific, you can do this as well, right? You can do that as well. So now let me execute. So you can able to see employee ID, first name, job title, and salary. So you can able to retrieve this. Now, if I want to add the conditions, so then further we can add this, where salary is more than 55,000, we are going to execute. So this is how we can filter the data by using the where conditions. So this is what we try to understand. So like employee ID column 1, column 2, column 3, whichever the column you want, you can retrieve that. This is simple syntax. I think most of the people knows it. The beginners should understand that, okay, like select, there will be a column we have to give. Or if we don't want any column, if we want all the columns, then we have to use the star. So there are two possibilities. Either I should go for a specific column or star. So that was the expectation. So once then we can see that. Similarly, if I want to retrieve what are the distinct job title or something like that, I can take this unique records or unique columns, something like that. If you want to do that, I want to know what are the unique job title in the company. So unique or distinct. Distinct is there. Okay, distinct. So then if you execute, so you can see the software engineer, data analyst, software engineer. Okay, now I'll remove this. So there is no repetition. Software engineer, data analyst, HR manager, data analyst, and project. In this company, there may be only these 5 types of distinct roles as it is. So if you want to such type of information, then you can go for this type of job title to retrieve. So similarly, we can do n number of ways as per our expectation. We can write the queries and we can retrieve the data. So this is how the simple select statement executes. After this, we have to understand there is one more concept we have called as a single row functions in select statement. So what is single row functions? Which operates on individual rows of a data. So that is called as a individual rows of a data. So that is what single row. There are a lot of single row functions we'll discuss once again. Returns one result per row. It is going to result one result per row used to modify or manipulate the data in SQL queries. So where we can apply select, where, order by, group by classes. Usually if you look at that, there are different types of single row functions. So string functions are there for text manipulation. Numeric functions are there for arithmetic calculations. Date functions are there, single row functions are there for date and time operations. Similarly, conversion, data type conversions also we have. And general functions like null handling, conditions, all these things are there. So single row functions like converts for each row column to some other value as per our expectation. So these are the different categories we have. The common functions are upper, lower, length, round, seal, toCat, toDate, concat, NVL. So these are all the different types of the single row functions. So now if you look at this, so what are the characteristics of those single row functions? Operate on individual rows. It works on the individual rows. Okay, single rows. Returns single result. So that was the advantage. Can be used in select statement. Wide range of functions it has, and it is immutable. It means that original data cannot be modified. That is called immutable. So original data will remain same. For display purpose, we have whatever the manipulation you wanted to do that. If, for example, if you want to change to a lowercase to a uppercase, first name to a uppercase, but original data remains same, but you can convert and print the value. So that's why this is called as a immutable. Single row functions are like that. So let us explore what are the single row functions we have, especially in this one. Now let me execute one by one. So let me go and create. Let me drop because sometimes I will be using a different examples. So let me create once again a employee table. So we are taking employee table. So this is, I think you people know that how to create a table. So create employee ID, first name, last name, salary, hire date. What is our objective now? Our objective is to explore single row functions. Now let me explore one by one for better understanding. So now let me insert the records to perform these operations. So I'm making a preparation. So to execute single row functions, just I have created a employee table and I can do that. What is that error? Is affecting. Okay, some syntax issues are there. So I'm able to do this. Let me refresh. So there is a employee table and let me check original table. So I am able to search this. I can able to show that. Now let me apply a single row functions. Now our object is to execute single row functions. So what are the single row functions I have? Now let me go here. So first one is upper, convert to a uppercase. So this is simple, straightforward single row function we have. That is nothing but select upper I'm passing first name. So now alias name I am taking for this representation. I am taking a upper first name as the alias name, another name, alternative name, and execute this. Now you can see that column name is upper underscore first name. All the characters here, like whatever it is displaying, it is capitalized and shown. So that means upper is a single row. Therefore, it is working on each record as a single value. So that is why single row function. Similarly, if I want to...
Hi, sir. I have a doubt. So here column name or function name is case sensitive?
Column name or?
Function name, whether we are giving a capital or
the column,
lowercase.
This is column name only, right? But it is working on each rows of that column.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So this is similarly, if I go here, I want to find the length of this. Okay. Length of the first name is there. What is the length of the first name? So I can give the alias name. So now let me execute this. So now Ravi, it has a 4 characters, size is length 4. Arti 5 characters, so 5. So here name length first name. Assume that if you don't give this, you are not given the alias name. So what it has done, this itself has taken as a name of the column, length first name. So that's why we usually use the alias name, length of a first name. So like this, we make, as per our convenient, we create a alias. So this is how I can execute the function. Similarly, like a round the value, salary, if it is coming there, round the value to decimal point. So if you wanted to do that, so I can round. So we can do that. Added the decimal point here, 2 digit. So that is what it is doing. Similarly, as we said initially, we can work on the date as well. So let me take these two. Let us see that. So here, let me go here. So date format, employee ID. So joining date, hire date, first year, this is the format, percentage next month, hyphen, then D. So like this, there is a date format, single row function is there. Similarly, we have current date, which is the current date time, and the current timestamp, hours, minutes, seconds, everything is there. So we can execute that and see that. So I can say that here. So current date and current date in time. So like this inbuilt single row functions also there. For every column, we can execute like this. So date format is there, current date is there, and current date underscore timestamp is there. So this is also a single row functions. There is one concept we have. This is, let me show you and then I understand this. NVL. So here if I write this, whenever a column has a null value, I want last name should be shown as a unknown. Okay. So, but it is not showing here. But let me execute second one. Okay, it is able to, like it is able to, if it is unknown column also, we can able to do that. Okay, but if it is there, but earlier it didn't execute at all. It is executed at all because it worked in Oracle. But this is a change in MySQL. Instead of this, equivalent method is coalesce. So, so like this, there will be some minor changes, but there will be some method. Concept will be addressed. There may be 1 or 2 specific changes will be there. So just you have to figure out. It is not universal. Sometimes SQL standard is unique, but sometimes that can be addressed with a minor changes. So that you have to remember. If you do not require to memorize, if you remember in one thing, just you can ask for the equivalent of Oracle or PostgreSQL, something like that. If you ask, if something is not working, immediately do just modification by mapping to the here Oracle 8 syntax is mapped to this. Similar to that, you have to do that. For that sake only, I have shown here. Similarly, if I want to get a like a substring of a So the given first name. So starting from 1 to the third. So for example, let me write first underscore name. So let me execute. Now if you see that starting from 1 and 3 characters. So this you can see that like this you can extract the substring as well. Similarly seal, you know that seal, floor, all these things, right? Either ground value or next value. So that is what you can do that. So here after ground value is nothing but value after below 0.5 to 6.4 to 6, that's a floor. 6.6 is there, then 6.6 to 7. So that is how the seal and floor will work. Here we have also have these functions actually. Similarly, one more the popular is to date, the format. So if you want to convert the characters to a date or something like that, so we can use the to date. Let us see this. So there is an error. It does not exist. It is telling. So let me execute. So it means that to date is in Oracle, but string to date is in MySQL. So the same thing, if you want to achieve in Oracle, we have to give. There is some modification is required. Here we have a string to date. Clearly, we have to tell. This is also string to date only, but unfortunately, that works in only Oracle 8. But in MySQL, if you want to work string to date, you have to use it. There may be if something didn't work in MySQL, you remember that you know Oracle or other these things. So earlier days, people used to do the Oracle, but now people are using most MySQL and PostgreSQL. But if you remember something which is working there and it is not working, just you have to map the functions actually. Similarly, concatenation, it is a joining. So of two strings. So we can concatenate. So we are able to do that. Similarly, months between. So if you want to execute between the months. So if you like the employee ID, months between a system date, let me execute this. There is an error. Let me execute. Sorry. You can able to months difference. So joining date to the current date, how many months he has given a service. So months difference, we are able to get it. So this is how we can do that. But months between is working in Oracle, but MySQL, the equivalent was timestamp difference. And in that month, you have to pass. And what are the parameters? Okay, high date to a current date. To current date, equivalent is this date in the Oracle. So that means there are few changes will be there. That's why I'm showing that, okay. But you should not think that, okay, I know MySQL, same exact queries will work there. There will be a slight differences will be there. Similarly, adding the month. So if you go to the here, so if you see here, add month, so it is failing. But if you go here, it is executed. So in Oracle, we'll be using add month, okay, hire date. I'm joining 6 months to this, get the new hire date. Here, date add, we have to use interval 6 months you have to give. So slight variations will be there, but months will be, add months, here be date add. So that is the difference. Similarly, if you want to leading zeros, you can, and trailing zeros of this anything space is there. If you want to do that, you can do that. Similarly, if you want to convert to a number. So for example, let me go here. So for example, sometimes, okay, 2 number is there. So let me execute this Oracle query. Absolutely, it's not possible. The same thing if I want to execute in MySQL. So you can able to do that. So we are formatting the salary in dollars actually. We are concatenating it with the dollars. So like this, we can format the salary. So the formatting it can be done here. Similarly, like if it is a null, okay, expression 1, expression 2, returns null if the values are equal. So for example, let me just if this some function, Anyhow, I will not get into like all the functions. Just I am showing you. Okay. So if it is there, null is there, null if just you have to like replace with Smith. So that was the expectation. But anyhow, all the values we have. So that's why it is not replaced actually. Similarly, truncation. What is trunk? Trunk truncation, for example, let me see here. Let me show this. Okay. Now, so first one is Oracle. So here, like a timestamp, if you wanted to do that. So here, a specific method is there. It is not like that. You have to use the date format. So if you want to change the certain form, this one. Similarly, we have a unit cap. So you can do this. Let us see this unit cap. So these are all we are discussing about the single row functions. So here you can see that. First letter I want to make it capital. In Oracle, just I have to use this method. But here, what we are trying to do is see concat, okay, uppercase, substring. First we have extracted the one character. That is nothing but like a first character we have taken. Then I have converted to upper. Then that character and lower. Rest of the things is lower. I am joining here. So much complicated things I have to do in the MySQL. So whereas in Oracle, init cap function itself is available. Here it is not there. So but this is a open source. That's why people are using it. Okay. So that means sometimes if methods are not there, okay, you have to figure out what kind of the adjustment you have to do in the queries. So this is the adjustment we have made to make a equivalent to the init cap method. So that means this much like a logic we have built. And first we have extracted one character and we made it as an uppercase. And the rest of the characters we are taking here. And then we are merging that. So any questions here? Able to follow? Yeah. So it is a simple and straightforward. So similarly, if you want to find the mode, extract, left trim and right trim, replace. So all these things you can do that. We already discussed where. Similarly, if I want to do the ordered by ascending or descending, so we can do this actually in the form of ascending. So whatever we have discussed is single row functions. So single row functions is nothing but, so we have understood all these things. Uppercase, we have created a table, then we inserted, we have executed all these queries like a uppercase, length, round, current date, substring, seal, like this, all the functions we have, at least we have noticed that, and we have done this. So this is what we call it as a single row functions. So next we have one more concept, we call it as a group functions. So what is group functions? Group functions calculate a single result from a set of values. So there single row, a single value that we have discussed. Uppercase or lowercase, we wanted to say that only one column where it is not multiple columns representation. Whereas here group means we are grouping, group by department. Okay. So that kind of things, group by designation. So like this, when you group it, we are applying a logic for the entire group. So group functions calculate a single result from a set of values used to summarize, analyze, and aggregate the data. Many times in reporting, we are using it. Often combined with a group by class, essential for reporting and statistical analysis. So it is essential for reporting and statistical analysis. So we have the create table. So as usual, once again, let me take this and explain this, what is the group by functions, because logically speaking, many times when we are executing, apart from single row functions, we largely use group by functions as well. So these are some of the functions. So let us explore this, try to understand how group by functions work. So let me go here. Okay, so let me go here. Let me take this one. Let me drop this table. The reason I'm dropping is as per specific to these things I'm creating. Now let me go here. First, let me create employees. So here I'm executing this. I've created the employee table. Similarly, now I want to create insert a record. Let me insert some records to this. I am able to do that. So I am able to insert this. So all these records are inserted. Now, if I want to see this, I can write select star from employees. So we are able to do this. But now, if I want to do like all capital, uppercase, join, all these things we have seen. That is a single row functions. But now I want to apply, count the number of rows in the result set. So how many rows, how many employees are there in the organization? It is as good as number of people, number of records in the table. So sometimes that may be interested to do that. So now I can do simply count. Okay, let me do this. Okay, so now you can use. So you can see that 5 records are there. Because only 5 records we have. So we can give the alias name total records. Total, if I am mapping to the employees, total employee. So I can able to see total employees are 5. The way you are interpreting is different, but count is there for one column or multiple columns. Star means entire records. So we are able to do that. Similarly, let me find sum of the salary. So total salary 5,000 plus 6,000, 55, 60,000, 55,000, 62,000, 52,000. Together, it is giving 2,79,000. So that is the sum it is giving. So we can compute in the report. Most probably sum is required. In that situation, we'll be using similar kind of queries. Similarly, if I want to find out average salary. So instead of sum, it is for all the records. Okay, it is going to execute. So that is the average salary in a company, maybe 55,800. What is the minimum salary they are giving in that company? So that also we can see that. So we have 50,000 is the minimum salary. What is the maximum salary? So these are all like a group by function, aggregated functions. So now, so it is a working on the multiple rows actually. So maximum salary is 62,000. Similarly, if we want to group concat, let me execute this. So we have concatenated all the names into a single value that is aggregated. Similarly, mathematical standard deviation, how much salary is around the average salary. If you wanted to compute, like if you know mathematics, around the mean. So that means everyone has average 4,578,000 is average variance is there actually. So that is what you can see that. Similarly, so just to measure, so the gap between the salary actually. So here, the variance, a different square root of standard deviation called variation. So like let us not get into that. Okay, but standard deviation is nothing but deviating from the across all the employees. Just to indicate that, okay, so these are all group by functions. Any questions here? Any question?
Hi, sir. Here, this virtual table is creating like view.
Yes. It is not working on the widget. Original table will. That's why this card is immutable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next is select with having class. So next is if we want to do that, the group by functions we have done. Group by we have understood. Group by means group by department, group by subject name, like this. So this is the aggregated functions. We can apply that. So that is a group by class. So for this group by, I want to apply the condition. Then we have to use the having. So the like a average salary of the department. Okay, something I wanted to apply. So these are the best examples to do the count with having, sum with having. Okay, we can do those examples also for better understanding. So let me go there, understand this. Okay. Find the departments have more than one employee. So I want to know the departments which are having the more than. Department means group of employees are there. So select department, okay, count star. So then the group by. So let me, but the department table I have not created. Did I create? No. So let me take here. Okay. So let me drop this because I have not created. To show the group by, let me take another table, create a department. So this is a group by department. Let me create an employees working in a particular department. Structure as created. Now, once this is done, let me insert a records. Insert a department. 5 departments are there. Insert a employees. So DDL is done. DML is also done. Now, if I want to execute this query, we'll give the select department, group concatenation first name as employee name, and where department, group by department, having the employee. So HR, employee names, where more than one employee is working for a particular department. In HR, 2 names are there. IT, 4 names are there. 4 people are working. Sales, 2 names are there. So that means that only in 3 departments we are working. So this type of situation, you are grouped according based on the department, and then you want to apply where condition. Then we have to use the having statement. So then you can able to write the query. So this is how we can do the group by and having. So like this you can do that. Similarly, let me so you can see that minimum salary of each department. Condition above 5,000, 50,000. How many department whose salary is more than 50,000? So then select department, minimum salary of each department. If you want to do that, first group by department, then apply this aggregated functions as well. Then apply the condition. So this is how we can do that. Similarly, maximum salary, which is lesser than these things. Select a department, max salary. Okay, lesser than 61,000. So you need a maximum salary, but it should be lesser than 61,000. So like this. So we can work on the multiple conditions. So we can do the having sum of the salary per department, average salary per department. Okay. Similarly, minimum salary per department, maximum salary, and group concatenation. So all these things we can do as a part of this. Any questions here? So all of you are able to follow at least select statement and various forms. Today what we discussed is, so what is the usefulness of select statement, and how do you write the syntax for select statement? And then we also understood, okay, how to apply the conditions, what are optional statements, what are the mandatory statements. Select column 1, column 2 from table name, it is the mandatory. These 2 are optional, okay, and that we have seen. And we try to execute some single row functions. We have seen all the majority of single root functions, like all these things we have understood. And because of that, we can do a lot of modification. So in our display of informations. And then we have understood the group by conditions, so group functions. Then we discussed about group by having conditions. So using that, we can work on the individual records also and group by records also. So any questions here? Yeah.
No, sir.
Okay. So I think you people are able to follow, right? So let us do that. The next topics which is left is very much important is joins. Majority of interview questions people are talking about joins. Any questions if they say database, at least the without joins, no interview will be scheduled. And also without joins, you cannot perform any the reporting kind of things. So in the next session, we will be discussing about the giants. Okay. So thank you very much for joining. Thanks a lot. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.